Book summary of the complete works of Jane Austen, in one volume, Jane Austen's The Complete Works of Jane Austen, as compiled in a single volume, presents all of her major novels, unfinished works, and juvenilia, showcasing her enduring literary genius. Her sharp wit, keen social insights, and the ability to capture the complexities of human emotion across various social classes and situations are on full display in this anthology. With works like Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and Emma, Austen explores love, marriage, societal expectations, and the ever-present pursuit of happiness. Additionally, the inclusion of her lesser-known writings, including her unfinished novel Sanditon and several early works, offers readers a comprehensive understanding of her literary evolution. 1. Sense and Sensibility, 1811, Austen's debut novel, Sense and Sensibility, is a poignant exploration of the Dashwood sisters, Elinor and Marianne. Their contrasting personalities, Elinor representing sense, grounded in practicality and restraint, and Marianne embodying sensibility, driven by passion and emotion, form the heart of the novel. After the death of their father, the Dashwood sisters, along with their mother, are left to navigate a world of financial difficulties, social norms, and the pressure to secure advantageous marriages. The novel reflects on the delicate balance between emotion and reason, with both sisters learning that neither extreme is ideal. Elinor must manage her feelings of loss and disappointment in silence, while Marianne's impulsiveness causes heartache. Through these contrasting figures, Austen critiques societal expectations of women, particularly in terms of marriage, while also emphasizing the importance of self-awareness and temperance. 2. Pride and Prejudice, 1813. Pride and Prejudice is perhaps Austen's most beloved work, and it is widely considered one of the greatest novels in English literature. The story revolves around Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, two characters whose initial impressions of one another are marred by pride and prejudice. Elizabeth, a sharp-witted and independent young woman, initially rejects the arrogant and aloof Darcy, while Darcy views Elizabeth as beneath him due to her lower social standing. As the plot unfolds, both characters undergo significant personal growth. Darcy's pride gives way to humility and love for Elizabeth, while Elizabeth's prejudice against him softens as she comes to understand his true nature. Through this romance, Austen explores themes of social class, the importance of personal integrity, and the necessity of self-reflection in relationships. The witty banter, memorable characters, and intricate commentary on societal expectations make this novel a timeless classic. 3. Mansfield Park, 1814. In Mansfield Park, Austen shifts her focus to the moral development of Fanny Price, a young woman raised by her wealthy relatives at Mansfield Park. Fanny is often overlooked and treated poorly by her relatives, but her inner strength, modesty, and moral compass set her apart. Unlike the more overtly charismatic characters around her, Fanny does not desire material wealth or social advancement. The novel explores issues of class, power, and social mobility, as well as the moral consequences of personal choices. Austen's portrayal of Fanny as a protagonist who embodies virtue and self-respect was somewhat controversial for its time, as Fanny is not the typical romantic heroine. The novel also critiques the social structures of the day, particularly the behavior of the wealthy and their exploitation of power. 4. Emma, 1815. Emma is a more comedic exploration of social class and matchmaking. The novel follows the story of Emma Woodhouse, a wealthy, independent, and self-satisfied young woman who enjoys meddling in the romantic lives of others. She sets her sights on pairing her friend Harriet Smith with the right suitor, but her well-intentioned interference leads to a series of misunderstandings and misadventures. Emma's own romantic feelings are blind to her, as she fails to recognize her attraction to Mr. Knightley, a man who has always been by her side. Through the character of Emma, Austen examines themes of self-deception, personal growth, and the dangers of matchmaking without true understanding. The novel is filled with humor, wit, and sharp observations about class and society, with Emma's journey to self-awareness being one of the most satisfying aspects of the story. 5. Northanger Abbey 1817, posthumous. Northanger Abbey is a playful and satirical take on the Gothic novel. The protagonist, Catherine Morland, is an impressionable young woman with a vivid imagination fueled by her love of Gothic literature. When Catherine visits the isolated Northanger Abbey, she begins to believe that she is living in a dark and mysterious Gothic story, with hidden secrets and potential threats. Through Catherine's overly dramatic interpretations of everyday events, Austen critiques the popular Gothic novels of the time, exposing their melodramatic tendencies while also highlighting the dangers of fantasy and imagination when they overshadow reality. At the same time, the novel is a coming-of-age story about Catherine's growth in wisdom and understanding, especially as she learns to navigate her own emotions and the complexities of romantic relationships. 6. Persuasion, 1817, posthumous. Persuasion is a deeply poignant exploration of second chances and the lasting effects of past decisions. Anne Elliot, the novel's protagonist, was once in love with Captain Frederick Wentworth, but due to her family's disapproval, she was persuaded to break off the engagement. Now, 8 years later, Anne and Wentworth are reunited, both still harboring feelings for each other. The novel explores the themes of regret, resilience, and the passage of time, with Anne learning to navigate her own desires and emotions in the face of societal expectations. Persuasion is often regarded as Austen's most mature work, with its themes of personal growth, the impermanence of life, and the lasting nature of true love resonating deeply with readers. The novel's bittersweet tone and its exploration of complex emotional landscapes set it apart from Austen's other works. 7. Lady Susan, 1794. Lady Susan is an early epistolary work in which Austen offers a sharp critique of the social games played by women in the pursuit of marriage. Lady Susan Vernon is a beautiful and cunning widow who seeks to marry off her daughter to a suitable suitor, while also attempting to secure a match for herself. Through a series of letters, Austen reveals the manipulative, opportunistic behavior of Lady Susan and the other women in her orbit. The novel, though less polished than her later works, demonstrates Austen's early mastery of irony, humor, and social critique. It offers a satirical take on the pursuit of advantageous marriages and the power dynamics that often shape romantic relationships. 8. Sanditon, unfinished. Sanditon is Austen's final, unfinished work, which she began in the last months of her life. Set in the fictional seaside resort of Sanditon, the novel presents an array of eccentric characters who are trying to turn the town into a fashionable destination. The story begins to explore the potential romantic interests of several characters, including the heroine Charlotte Haywood. Unfortunately, Austen's declining health meant that the novel was left incomplete, and readers are left to wonder how the various plots would have developed. However, even in its unfinished state, Sanditon showcases Austen's signature wit and social observation, and it is a fascinating glimpse into the final stages of her creative development. 9. Juvenile. Austen's Juvenile includes a series of early works written during her teenage years. These stories and plays are often humorous, exaggerated, and filled with satire. In works like Love and Friendship, The History of England, and Catherine, Austen plays with genre conventions, parodies, and sharp observations of society. These pieces are not as refined as her later works, but they are valuable for understanding the development of her literary voice and her early interest in social critique and the nuances of character. Conclusion: the complete works of Jane Austen is an essential collection for any reader interested in understanding the full scope of Austen's literary contribution. Each of her novels, from Pride and Prejudice to Persuasion, reflects her unique ability to capture the subtleties of social class, human emotion, and personal growth. Even her unfinished works, like Sanditon and her Juvenile, offer insight into her early development and her keen awareness of the intricacies of human relationships. Throughout her life, Austen explored themes of love, marriage, societal expectations, and personal integrity with sharp wit and profound understanding, making her one of the most significant authors in the English literary canon.